Fancy intro music, yeah! Woo! Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel where we got another officer video for you, and I'm excited about it because, well, it's the latest epic. And for me personally excited because it's going more into that PvP range where y'all just know I love PvP. It's just something I'm really into in this game. Even though the game might not have the best PvP situation, it's still a lot of fun for me, and I love that the officers are kind of moving in that direction a little bit. No, not completely. At the same time, that could be a drawback to some of the officers, and we're going to talk about Sela today and just the way that she works, using some of the logs that I have from yesterday, and we'll go over that in today's video. We'll also do an Honor Guard Wharf video, so stay tuned for that because I'm excited to get some Klingon some love. It's nice that we're getting Romulan and Klingon love in the game, and hopefully that can make everybody happy because we've had Federation focus for 3 years. It's about time we get a little bit of focus on other things. Real quick, we got to give a shout out to Season 4 of Discovery launching today. Now, I know for some of you international fans, they have pulled it in the days TBD. But for those in America and Canada, you still get it today, I believe. And the game did throw out 2 Season 4 gifts where we got Origins Burnham. Yay. Oh, wait, I didn't mean to collect the Tetrion one. My bad. Well, I got a repair speed up. And then another set of Origin Burnham. I don't know why Origins Burnham, why not give at least the regular Burnham shards, because Origins Burnham is completely useless in the game, but hey, Season 4. Yikes. All right, 4-hour chest. I'm going to go ahead and pull that because my OCD, and your OCD is going to go crazy if we don't. So what we're going to take a look at today with Sela is a couple different crew sets to load out with her, some basic testing of how she works, answering some of your questions, and saying how she could be better or worse based on the setup. So first off, let's go ahead and jump into the officer menu and take a look at her, and then we'll also use STFC.space so that we can pull up the full level of stats. And what I mean by that is this right here. Transition, bam, gotta love the power of the internet. It's an incredible thing. So you can see with the captain's ability, hit them where it hurts. The synergy bonus is 10% to start with, which is not the biggest bonus. Sure, 15% max. If you were to have full synergy here, you could add 80% critical hit damage. I'm honestly not sure how valuable it is, especially because it's a while cloaked ability. Keep in mind, you're already getting a regular damage bonus while cloaked, so getting an 80% critical if you're running a critical loadout can actually do a lot of damage in the game. So there is some thought to that, but right now, with there only being one officer that can synergize with her, and that's Tomahawk, not sure how many people will be running something, say, Sela, Tomahawk, Honor Guard, Wharf, though you very well could and could have good results. We'll take a look at some logs in a second. But right now, look at the officer ability, which is the big one I think a lot of people are going to want to focus on, which is when fighting other players, Sela decreases the enemy's critical hit chance by 2%. So she's an anti-critical officer. Now, I mentioned Honor Guard Wharf. If there's a drawback to Sela as an officer, is that she does not really combat Honor Guard Wharf. And the good thing about this ability is it procs every time a weapon hits. So if you have, say, 3 weapons that hit in one round, then you're going to subtract 6% if you're a rank 1 Sela. So like the one I have that you can see in the background, clearly, look at that, rank 1. Rank 1. So yes, it is going to be something that is a cumulative growth and can really help anti-loadouts. To be honest, the biggest player that this helps take out of the game is Khan. This is a great anti-Khan officer because we'll talk about Khan and how he loads out in a little bit, but we'll actually use Sela in logs in a second and show you that. But if you get her to max, you're really negating Khan completely because Khan maxes out at 5%, Sela at 6%. So even at max, Sela can actually start taking on Honor Guard Wharf to an extent and lowering those critical chances. So long term, she's an anti-critical officer completely. Short term, she's an immediate anti-con officer, even at tier 1, which is pretty freaking impressive. So let's take a look. Now, granted, this is PvP. If there is a drawback to this officer, it's PvP only. She does not work in any other scenario except for PvP. So let's go ahead and pull out, and we'll go to some logs that we took yesterday. Shout out to the people who helped out, which was Kindness from IA and also Ando, who both of those were with us, and we did a little bit of logging. So we'll take a look at some of these as soon as the game retrieves. Hey, thank you, game, for retrieving. So here's Kindness. I think that's the, we're not going to worry about that one. That one was a sarcophagus. We won't worry about sarcophagus. Now, keep in mind, purposely coming out with bad crews here, just because we were doing some testing, but I'm running Sela, Marcus, Honor Guard Wharf. So I'm running anti-critical, critical with mitigation. So I'm perfectly set up to go destroy another Burrell, and that's why I do extremely well. I barely take any damage against a player that's level 41, right around my same level. Yes, that Burrell is 2 tiers below me, but it's not too much of a difference. But I will say, first thing, if you notice this, Sela has that issue with battle logs where she double appears. She's only working once, though. You can actually math it out if you run enough of these logs against Khan. It's not double procking. It's just appearing twice, which is a issue that you'll see with some officers in battle logs. Some people see Khan do it. You'll see a couple others. This is one of the first that does it for me. But it is whatever. It's a very common problem. It only procs once, though, so I want to make sure I say that. So you see here, we're going to look on my side, looking for criticals with Honor Guard Wharf, and apparently my RNG is terrible until this shot. But you look on the other side, with Khan firing, you're still not getting any critical hit chances. Now, let's talk about Khan real quick as an officer. So, +5 critical hit chance every time the ship gets hit. So every time it gets hit, you should get +5. Sela is doing -2 every time you do hit. So she's automatically cutting into Khan. And because most ships only start with maybe, 12%, 13% critical hit chance. Some of them get up to 20%, depends on research and levels and ships and things like that. That's not a lot. So, I mean, if you're able to, say, start at 13% and then you add 5 each time, man, that's a maxed Khan. I don't have a max Khan. Max Khan is generally a whale or a heavy dolphin card. But even if you do have max Khan or you don't, think about the numerical advantage here of Sela. Because even if you're only subtracting a couple percent, that adds up. So let's say in round 1 you hit them twice. That should take them from 13 to 23. But if you simply subtract 4 from that, now you're only going to 20 or 19. So that is a pretty nice reduction. We're not even at 20% yet, and it adds up. You can see in the logs that we have, we're simply not getting a lot of effect with Khan. We're moving in here. We're going into round 4. Through 3 rounds, no criticals for a Khan build. And then it ends the battle with no criticals yet. Because I was running Honor Guard Wharf, I did get criticals. So let's move on to another one. There's several other variations of this that we can run. I want to take a look at one from Captain Ando. Captain Ando is a level 45 player in BCA. Shout out for the help. And they brought a fantastic crew. And I wanted to use this as an example. Now keep in mind, I still had Marcus on here, which was for like an anti-Burrell loadout. We were using Explorers. But this is what it looks like if you run into a full-on, greatly loaded out critical build, and then mitigation build, and then I'm running the wrong mitigation officer. So let's take a look at that. So here you can see the struggle of Sela to keep up with, say, an Honor Guard Wharf. So you're going to see on the first round, look at that, big gun hits me with 1 million right out the gate. Yikes, that hurts. Punched me right in the gut. Didn't like it. Move on to the next round 2. We managed to avoid criticals. I'm hitting some criticals, which is good, and I'm still lowering their chance, but Honor Guard Wharf starts off at 45%. So we're going to get to round 4, another big gun hit, 3.3 million. That's sickening. Sickening. Shield's gone. And then round 7, another critical. So you can see Sela, through 7 rounds, has probably only subtracted by this point, let's count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so that'd be 28%. So still, only a little less or a little more than half of Honor Guard Wharf's natural ability to improve crit. So Honor Guard Wharf is amazing on the salad, and we'll talk about that in my Honor Guard Wharf video. But you can see here, this is troublesome. This isn't a fantastic loadout, by the way. I mean, this is running Lorca. You're getting hull breach. You're also getting a damage reduction with hull breach. Then you got Killy here for mitigation, and then you've got criticals. I mean, this is one of my favorite loadouts in the game for PvP right now. Now, I did manage to get Ando back, so I do have to put that on the screen. Shout out Ando. So this time, I do manage to negate a good portion of those criticals, and this level 45 can't beat me with this time, because if you look, the big gun is not hitting crits here. Did get one there, but it's only 1 million compared to the 3. And then we'll go back down to round 7, and no critical on the big gun. So I managed to get out of there with my head still on the swivel. And I was hitting criticals early, so RNG would play a good role in this and how these combat logs match out. As far as how you would crew with Sela, it's really going to depend on what you have. If you have Honor Guard Wharf, having a critical and anti-critical build together is great. I will say the value of Sela mostly comes, in my opinion, from the officer ability, because how much of you are you using cloak in a combat situation? Right now, as of the time of this video, and I've been using this phrase a lot because I really want Scopely to hear it, at the time of this video, you really don't get enough cloaking items in terms of the Tetrions to justify using this in PvP every day. Thus, using Sela to get that critical hit bonus is not as advantageous or that good. I love the officer ability. I really do. And there's things that you can load out and take advantage of that. I mean, if I'm on an Enterprise constantly seeing critical loadouts, I mean, I would probably think if you're running con loadouts, I'm going to put Sela on the side with my Kirk or my TOS Kirk, TOS or whoever run maybe. Depends on what I'm fighting. If I know D4s are coming around on me all the time though, then I'm looking at something like that. There are uses for Sela. The biggest drawback to me though, honestly, is that she's PvP only. Where I would really love Sela to be useful, Armadas. That's where I would absolutely love Sela. Would love to have Sela in Armadas and have that work there. Sadly, that's not the case. And for those curious, the officer ability of Sela does not need cloaking. It's only the captain's ability. So you can use her as a sidecar and use her in that regard. Now, real quick, before we forget about it, because we have to do this for every officer going forward, I wish I could go back and add this to all my old videos. Here are the 3 traits: Deceptive, Patriot, and Leader, or Patriotic and Leader. Now, there are some good traits here in terms of where you would use these, and there's several missions I line up with. When we do our next away teams mission, talking about officers to focus on, Sela will be one that gets mentioned with some of the away teams that we have now. But for now, we'll just cover it at that and leave it at that. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button. Looks like this nice thumb of mine, my nice pale ginger hand. Live long and prosper. Stay safe with the Space Cowboys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions about Sela, how she works, or how you can use her in your game, drop it down below. I realize that people would have had to place pretty highly in the leaderboard. I got 3rd place on my leaderboard, able to finish it out. I don't even have Tomahawk yet, but I got that. I should have Tomahawk in the next couple of days, so that video will roll out. Once again, if you got questions, I'm so happy to answer them out. Share this out with everybody you know that plays the game, and bring them here so they can learn about it. We love you. Deuces, that's me. We'll catch you on the next one. I'm outie. Because, yeah, I got things to do.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.